All right, it's processing day for these guys. So this is step one, to take them over here to the cone. Step one puts them in the cone. We're first gonna turn the bird upside down, which kind of puts the bird in a relaxed state. So yeah, here, we'll put them in the cone here. All right, so now the bird's kind of in a relaxed state. And then we're just gonna cut the vein right here on the side of its head. And then it's just gonna pass out. And we'll let the blood just continue to drain, just like his buddy sitting over here next. Just like his buddy sitting over here next to him. And we want all the blood to drain out of this chicken. And the chicken's not feeling any pain right now. This is just muscle and nerves that continue to move. The chicken's already dead, and we just need all the blood to drain out of it. All right, and once they've sat here for a few minutes, it's time to go in the hot, slightly soapy water. This water was already boiled earlier, so we're at about 140 degrees. And it just has a couple of drops of soap in it. And that will help to loosen the feathers. The hot water and the soap will help to loosen the feathers from the body. So we let him sit down in here about 30, 40 seconds.
We're going to go through the process of the steps that we do to process a chicken. So after it's gone through the defeatherer, we're going to go ahead and it has the head taken off. We're going to go ahead and cut the feet off. Not right now, maybe in a minute. And we're going to feel for where that tendon is in between the two bones and cut right there. And then I like to move the bone so that I'm not cutting into the bone and dulling the knife, but that I'm just getting the skin or the tendon. Okay, do the next one. Feel in the middle, twist it. Okay, easy, comes off easy. I'm not really pushing on the knife very much. Now, next thing we're going to do is to cut the tail off. Do this, scoop up. Okay, that came off.
Put it in the trash.
Throw that in the trash. We got that right there. And then we're going to cut up here at the neck. Some feathers left over. Just making sure that we're not going to cut anything other than just the skin. So I'm going to cut into the skin and pull this away, any connective tissue. And what I'm trying to do right now is to get the windpipe and pull the windpipe It's okay, you can go ahead and turn it on. We got to turn on the plucker, which is going to make a lot of noise. But right now this is the gizzard, and I am trying to detach it and any of the connective tissue so that the internals will pull out easily. And I think some of the windpipe came off during the whole process of spinning it. You can see right here, he's going to remove the head. And sometimes they easily come off just by pulling. There's the head off. Okay, so right now we've got this connective tissue, so I'm going to stay focused on breaking away this connective tissue just so it'll make it easy. Whenever I pull all of the internals out, it's going to pull this with it, okay? Because this is all connected, and you just kind of don't want to break too much of this. So get it right there. Gonna take it, pull it back a little bit, cut just a small amount because I don't want to cut any of the organs on the inside. And there's some fat right here. I want to try to save as much fat as I can on that. So I'm gonna not remove it, the connective tissue from the body, but I'm gonna kind of get in there with the fat and leave it with the body. Okay, you able to see that? So I'm gonna get in there and the connective tissue, and I'm actually gonna cut just a little bit more, being very careful to cut the slot open a little bit more. That'll allow me to be able to take out the internals and try to keep as much of that fat as possible. So then I'm gonna reach inside the cavity and I'm gonna be feeling for any connective tissue. See right there, can you get that? Right there is connective tissue. So with my fingers, that's why I like to do this without gloves so I can feel. But with my fingers, I'm gonna take and just kind of gently pull, keeping my hands around the body cavity and pulling away any connective tissue that I feel. And so there's gonna be a good amount over in here. And I'm gonna be pulling that out, just breaking it. And this will help all of these internals to come out. And so there is the gallbladder is one of the organs, and that one is the one that we want to be extra careful about. It's kind of protected by the liver, so it is not as easy to get to, but we still have to make sure that we're not squeezing. I never want to squeeze any of the internal organs. My pressure is going on the outside of the body as I'm raking, and right now I'm raking inside the cavity of the lungs. I just like to go ahead and get all that all in one swoop because it just makes everything else come out easier. And sometimes I like to hold the bird up like this because gravity actually helps in that, and my back doesn't hurt as much. So I can feel that, well, that's part of it. It's short, but I'm up here around the neck and I can feel where this part of it is. And so I'm still going around the spine right now, breaking any kind of contact, any kind of connection. And then my last part that I've really got to get is up here where the windpipe is and where the gizzard is. And so you can see it kind of moving. And sometimes I do like to take and put my hand in so that I can know exactly where it is, and you can see it's going to come out. And then after that, letting gravity help, I'm just going to let the organs fall. Okay, and so then you can see inside I've cleaned that out. This is where the lungs were. I've taken my fingers and like a rake scooped into that to get those out. This is the lung tissue right there. You can see where it goes along the rib cage. So we've gotten that out, getting any other, I think it's kidneys, get that out. And then I want as much of this fat to stay because this is good for broth. Right here is the gallbladder. So we still want to be careful around this so that it doesn't break. Have to be very careful if you are going to have a knife anywhere near that. Just need to be sure that you feel confident enough not to cut it. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna be cutting all this right here out. So I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna make sure that I don't touch this, because this is where the anal cavity and all that is. So we don't wanna open that up any more than it already has been. So I'm gonna cut down and cut under. And then that is removed. Again, I'm gonna try to get as much, this is the stomach, I'm gonna get as much and if I am wrong with any of these organs, y'all leave information below and correct me nicely if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. But I know that this is the gallbladder, this is the liver, this is protected by this. And so sometimes if it doesn't come off very easily, I'm just gonna take and kind of cut some of the liver off so that I don't cut this, because we don't want to do that. If this does cut and gets on the surface, we've got to clean that off and wipe it down with a Clorox rag. Not a Clorox wipe, but a rag that has Clorox in it. And then I'm going to keep this because we're going to freeze dry this for our dogs. And we're going to just dispose of the rest of it. Another thing that I think is really neat is looking at how the body is set up, how our creator set up all of the veins to pull out the nutrients as it goes through the digestive tract. Just biology. So anyway, that's it.